100%. This is kind of a nice intro.
We could make it work. Okay, I'll do a manual fade out here. Fade it out.
That was a pretty aggressive fade out. I think you just hit pause.
Yeah, you pretty much it's wherever you left it off. So we can work on that in the future. But
all right, well, guys, welcome to this new episode, new format of Blue Collar Interviews. We got Jordan Willie, myself Chase, and Theron Danger here joining us. And we're trying something else new.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, it took us way longer than it should have because we were playing with background pictures and that.
Chase's background picture now is much better than the one he had on earlier. But
a little bit better view. So Theron is kind of joining the team, right? You're part of you've been doing the social media for Edison forever now, so you're also joining the Blue Collar team, getting on with the interviews, helping us out because you're much better at this shit than I am.
I am taking the role as somewhat of a entry-level, non-trained producer-esque type person. So I will be able to opt in and out, and I might sit behind the scenes and maybe cue up some videos or hit some sounds. For example, I can leave
He's gone.
And I can come back like this.
See, that's dope. We are way improved compared. Remember when we started this, Jordan, like 2 years ago? We were literally recording some 3 years. Yeah, 3 years ago. Holy. Remember when we started this 3 years ago? We did the first podcast. I was literally like running the backhoe at the time and like with my headphones in.
Oh, it's changed. It's changed a lot. So this is our biggest upgrade because it went from me buying headphones to nicer headphones with their big changes. But hey, this is different. I'm on a MacBook.
Headphones.
So our YouTube channel has been doing pretty well. It's growing quickly, and we wanted to kind of so much of the beginning of Edison Motors came from Blue Collar Interviews, and that was with Jordan here and Chase here. Unfortunately, the format of Blue Collar Interviews had no video format, which does not translate well to YouTube. So this is kind of we hope to be medium or our crossover where you can go a little more in depth. We will be starting, when this episode comes out, we should have the Edison Motors YouTube channel for Blue Collar Interviews, a separate channel.
Yeah, I guess we might as well hop into it here. But I guess we wanted to go over Fully Charged, and Jordan couldn't make it down to the show with us, unfortunately.
Pretty unfortunate. Yeah, feel bad about that. So I'm probably not going to talk too much this episode, but I'll just be here in the background.
I mean, you get to ask questions, I guess. We
were
there.
That's true.
But I honestly, to start off with, I can't believe we made it. That we actually had a running, driving truck that pulled into its show under its own power we got that thing running like 2 days before the show. Joel from Royal Oilfield came down with his low bed to move us again. And literally the low bed driver was helping us put the fenders on right before the show. Like that's the level it came down to, is that the fenders and the hood went on about an hour before putting it on the low bed to bring it down to the show.
I will say that is my contribution that I can add is I was there like 2-3 weeks before. And it was like, oh man, we are not making this truck show. Like I felt bad coming down. The day wasn't the best day, but it was like, this can't happen. And you guys pulled it off. I'm amazed.
Yeah, you get literally left the shop being like, oh, they have no chance of making it. They're like, when you were here, we're like, there is no way we are going to make this show.
Mm-hmm. That was in true Edison Motors fashion, because exactly 1 year ago to the day, we were all doing the same thing to Carl. You're wrenching on Carl the morning of the truck show, and again, by the hair on our hide, pulled it off.
Okay, that is impressive though. And I think it says a lot about that. I talked to a lot of people about it because some people thought this was like another retrofit, like we took another frame or something. It was like, no, like they built a semi in a year, like from the ground up, and it's like, no, like they didn't do that. I'm like, yes, they did. Like it is a feat.
It is way harder to build one from the frame rails up than it is to just do a retrofit. There's so many little details that all of a sudden we realized we had to figure out. Like when you have to put every single nut and bolt and design where it's going to be, what bolt to use, that is a lot of engineering and just pure frustration. I think we built this truck 3 times over. Literally, I think we built this thing like 3 times because you would build it and then change it and then build it and then change it. And also we learned a lot. Like we did do a bit of 3D modeling. Like we did. We had a little bit, and then we'd go off those plans. We'd draw it out on paper, and then be like, ah, no, I don't like it. Change it, redraw it, put it in 3D, then build it off the 3D, and then realize that what works in 3D isn't always practical when you're building it. Because then you'd put something, you're like, no, that's gonna make this hard to service, or that's gonna make this awkward. And then we had to like change it and rebuild it, and yeah, that's a lot compared to when you're just doing a retrofit and everything is where it's going to be. Like you're not going to change where the cross members are or the fuel tank brackets or anything like that. Like, oh dear god, retrofitting would have been easier, but now that it's built, the next one should be a lot easier.
Fingers crossed. Yeah,
Well,
the next 5, right? We
Yeah.
plan on building 5 in the next 18 months. Is the plan for?
that's the
for
plan.
that's the plan. So do you want to start getting into? So we got Joel was there, put the fenders on. We're low bedding down, and now we're going to fully charged show. And
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of cool. I don't know what to say about it, but we had a wicked trip down there. It was cool to see both our trucks on the low bed. And then a lot of people gave us shit and be like, "Well, why did you guys low bed it down? How come you didn't drive it down?" Like, we
It was
built it
done
like
5
hours
minutes
before.
ago.
Yeah, we built this
Yeah.
thing 5 minutes ago.
The paint was drying like in streaks because like it's just still wet.
oh,
I
Chase
mean,
was spray painting it
we were
that morning.
painting it that morning. I mean,
That
literally, I
it
had the
did.
full paint gun out and I was painting some pieces absolutely 100% traveled down there wet. I'm not even joking about you. Like they were
Oh
still
yeah.
like kind of tacky as we were bolting panels onto the truck. We're like,
We were
don't
not
worry,
allowed to.
once you get it up to highway speed, it'll dry quick.
We weren't
That
allowed
that
to stand on the steps. You were not allowed to open the door or stand on the steps because they were still wet.
yeah.
Yeah.
That one photo when it was against the mountains and the truck was done, it was so good. You guys posted online and people like who know me, follow me, they're like, "Oh, like I sent it to them." And they're like, "Oh, like cool." I'm like, "Oh, doesn't that look amazing?" They're, well, yeah, like it's just another rendering. I'm like, "No, that is the actual truck. Like it's not just an online rendering. It's not just a made picture. Like that's the truck that's done. Like
That was a
that
real
photo
moment
looks
that
so
really
good."
sunk in for all of us there when we saw that and we're like, that does look like rendering. That was at the Zopkis brake check there. And
Mhm.
it went to show both how good the truck looks and also how good the render guy is. Like he's
Yeah,
amazing.
Daniel does
Nailed
a
it.
wicked job. Real nice guy too. We got to meet him down at Fully Charged. He came in, had a look at the truck. But yeah,
Oh,
it's pretty
I
incredible
do.
that 1 year ago, last year, we were displaying the truck in Hope, and then seeing the trucks in Hope was kind of it was a cool moment. And then we got
Mhm.
her down to Fully Charged, and to walk you through that one was a nightmare because they were insistent that we go park the truck up top. And we're like, no, that can't be right. It's got to be downstairs with the rest of the semi trucks. Yeah, it was downstairs with the rest of the semi trucks, but so the light tower was going to go up top at the front entrance, and they looked at our thing and like Edison Motors up top, and they're like, "Oh yes, all the things go up top," and I'm like, "No, there's no way that they are going to fit in there. Like we cannot park these next to the made in Canada golf carts."
Well, it could. It'd
Yes.
be like a really heavy duty golf cart.
So thankfully, Chase used his uh, knowledge in the industry and took a pickup to explore. We left the trucks there and we went upstairs in a pickup. And sure enough, we were right that they did deliver downstairs. Although moments later, we did get into a predicament with the trucks, even in the basement. Joel and Mario's got stuck and had to. There was a whole. I
Oh,
was in
getting
there
them
for
out of there.
you can talk about getting them out, but
Oh yeah, that was a nightmare.
so yeah.
Believe it or not, the underground convention center that take deliveries is not designed for a Albertan tri-drive bed truck and 10 wide scissor neck.
Little tight down there.
Yeah, yeah, no, we probably should have just unloaded on the main road and drove the trucks in. In hindsight, that was totally doable and should have been the option because we drove them out. I don't know why they're like, oh yeah, they told us they're like, oh no, there's definitely room for trucks. There's even a whole truck. You can get a 53-foot trailer. I don't think they realized that a bed truck and a 10.6 scissor neck is the same as like a 53-foot dry van with a day cab.
Yeah, it's a little different. You can't just whip that around.
It
But we
was
did
pretty
it and
cool.
we got them unloaded. And then we realized that all of like people were giving us shit and be like, why are you low bedding them down? All the other vehicles got brought in with tow trucks. Literally, like all the other trucks were brought in with tow trucks. all the other cars. I'm like,
Mhm.
why are we getting in shit? Everybody brought their things in on tow trucks.
That
This is
that was one thing I
ridiculous.
saw online, a lot of people commenting about that, and I love when the fans just come to our defense. Everyone's like, "They just finished the truck, it's not even licensed right now." Like, they're just all our fans, like, I don't even have to respond, like, the fans just come in and tell people what's up. It's like, "Thank you, thank you." Don't even have to explain it.
And
Yeah.
the funniest thing is that both our trucks drove into the show, like from the main area into the show on their own power. Not all of the other competitors' cars did.
Ooh,
I didn't
can't
film
say
it,
too
didn't put it
much?
online, but at one point they had like 10 people pushing, or like 6, 8 people pushing a few of the vehicles into position in neutral. And you're like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
These are existing OEMs, like, and here we are. It was pretty eye opening. You should talk about your turning heads running Joel's Jake downtown delivering an EV. That's hilarious. But but before I forget, the warm welcoming, even as soon as we got there, the gate lady, like the security lady, she's like, "Oh, Edison Motors. I was just talking to you about my brother." And just everyone knew about. We had a bigger following at this OEM EV company than if we went to an actual truck show in our own like.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was a crazy thing. It's like, I don't know how to sound like, but a lot of those people, like half the people there were like, yeah, we came here for Edison Motors. So like we came here
Wow.
to like even Sandy Monroe, he's like, this was the highlight of the show. This is my favorite part of the show. Like we got to meet Sandy Monroe.
Mm.
Not sure who he is. That's the guy that like Elon Musk hired to do a teardown of like the Model S and be like, yeah, tell me what you actually think of the Model S, and sat down in a meeting with him. Like the guy is a legend in the automotive industry, and he said that we were the highlight of his show, and that
That
is incredible.
that is
He,
incredible. What did he have to say about it?
But you got a
I
clip
can
there?
show you. I
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
do. Sandy
Oh,
Monroe. Sandy Monroe is like a make you or break you kind of guy, and he shoots from the hip. He's honest. He's cool. He like swears and stuff, and he's like an old timer. And what he says is like the gospel for people. So for him to just be oh, here we go.
Well, it was very.
Oh, going back to the
Oh,
beginning.
Sandy, thanks for coming, stopping by, and having a look at our truck. Well, it was very. It was my pleasure. Actually, I'm looking at the Edison as the highlight of the show for me. I've seen pretty much everything around here, the inside and outside and whatnot. This is a different market than anybody has talked to me about. The logging market, I know about it after working with John Deere on skidders and other logging pieces of equipment, but never worked on actually the moving of the logs after they're limbed and whatnot, and getting them into the marketplace. So I'm pretty impressed. I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to when your stock shows up. Thank you.
Isn't that awesome?
Thank you, Sandy. Yeah, you're welcome.
Isn't that incredible that
that
Sandy
is
Monroe said that he was impressed? We were the highlight of his show, and apparently looking forward to when our stock shows up. Like
that's
what?
key. That
Like
end piece is key. I like that. That got me excited.
I didn't even notice he said that when I was there.
You're
Like
just too
That's
excited.
I
You're
think I was just
too,
so stunned the whole like
yeah.
he spent like a good 20, 30 minutes, at least a half hour. Yeah, at least a half hour, like going over the truck. And I think the whole time I was just stunned, and I'm like, I can't believe Sandy Monroe was here looking at our truck. I mean, number one, the first like 15 minutes, I was scared shitless because I'm like, this is a guy that doesn't pull punches, and what he says in the industry goes. And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden, he's like, "Oh, this is really nice." He like starts like pointing out some things that he really likes, and like I'm like, "Oh, okay, this isn't." And then the rest of the next 15 minutes of the interview, I'm just like star stunned.
That
that
is like that last comment really got me excited there. I was like, oh, that is exciting to hear.
I
it's way better than we could have ever hoped. Like that was we would have never expected that, and that was just it had us all starstruck, and to hear him say that himself was just it was a huge wow moment.
yeah, it was honestly everyone, even like talking with like 2-bit Da Vinci from Fully Charged, like that was
Mm.
like another one where you're like another starstruck moment where they're like, "Yeah, we're impressed," and we're like, "What?" Like
I put on up on the YouTube, but yesterday, no, this morning, Chase went up. It was a panel of 4 people. It was 2-Bit Da Vinci, a Gary guy from the Victoria EV, Victoria EV something, and then another guy who was into Coast Mountain buses. So, and Chase went up there, and Chase just stole the show. And he
Oh,
was a
I
fan
don't
favorite.
stole the show, but
Well, you pretty much did. That's a pretty common comment on that video. Chase got like a standing ovation when he went on a rant about planned obsolescence, and then
Nice,
later I bumped into 2-Bit Da Vinci. If you don't know who 2-Bit Da Vinci is, how would you describe him? Is a very successful YouTuber. He
very,
does
very successful YouTuber.
huge following, and he does breaks down like the interesting things happening in the world, and things you should be. It's a really informative person, and we're kind of
Really nice
underselling him
guy
right
too,
now.
like a genuinely really nice guy.
But I do have a clip here where I bumped into him after. He actually came out for dinner with us, and we had drinks, and there was another YouTuber there that had like well over 1 million followers. I don't follow him myself, but he's also into the EV space, so it was cool to be out with some of the bigger guys in our as a YouTuber myself in that field. It was also a starstruck moment. But here is 2-Bit Da Vinci. Oh, oh no! Oh no! Try that again.
Impression.
So first of all,
You're 2-Bit Da Vinci.
I am.
And I appreciate your interview with Chase yesterday. What was your first impression?
So first of all, that panel was a back-to-back session, and I didn't even have a chance to go to the restroom or anything, so it was like kind of overwhelming. But Chase was probably the coolest panelist I've had a chance to chat with. He is an absolute riot. Loved his hat. You can see his little hat.
The Edison Motors stealing Tesla's idea. That is our slogan.
But I will tell you, that truck is so impressive. And I saw the tent you guys were making it out of. What a thing.
Tent in the backyard on a gravel floor.
So we will be coming out at some point to do a full in-depth review. Be ready. Let's get some logs. I want to see that thing going downhill, regenerating. And yeah, we'll come out.
We look forward to that.
You bet, man.
Right on, man.
Cheers. Good luck.
Nah, like, yeah, that was like the common theme is like, people that are like, oh, you're the highlight of my show, or like I was so impressed with the truck, and like it came as unexpected, and a lot of people are like, Chase, you should expect that. But the thing is, like, yeah, we have great fans. I love our fans, and they like what we're doing. But these were people that aren't fans that were following along. Like a lot of these people were seeing the Edison truck for the first time. A lot of people at this show were learning about Edison Motors for the first time, and I was wondering, I'm like, okay, like, what are people that never heard of us gonna think when we show up with this thing? Like, we're an EV show. We're bringing a logging truck. We got a big diesel generator under the hood. What are people gonna think? And everybody they were impressed. It made sense to them. I don't think I heard 3 negative comments from there was like a group of like 2, 3 guys, and they're like, this thing's got a diesel motor. It's a piece of shit. Why is this here? But that was the only 2, 3 people. And one's like, well, I don't know. But like 2 other guys really hated it. But that was it. That was the only 2 people of the whole show among the 1,000 people we met that had anything really negative to say. Except for the one guy that wanted a job but just kept insulting the truck the whole time. There was that one other guy. He's like, I like everything about
it. Do tell like specific things that he said.
He's like, yeah, this truck. He's like, this truck kind of sucks. Like, you guys, when you put this together, like it's not like a fit and finish. I've worked for Daimler designing the Freightliner Cascadia with a cat in the cab. He's like, I literally worked for Daimler on that Freightliner Cascadia, and your truck is just not up to our standards. So he's like, anyways, like he's like, it's the fit and finish is crude. Like it's just all steel. It's brash. I don't like it. If you guys are interested, I want to come work for you, and I want to help you build the truck the way that we would help build the truck. It's like, dude, you insulted my truck because it's not a Freightliner Cascadia. You
that's
didn't
what
like
he
the
likes.
dash.
That's what
you
he's
thought it
into.
was too old, fashioned, and crude. Why do you think we want to hire you? That's like the opposite of what we want here. Like, but he worked on the Cascadia for Western Star, and like, yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't want a Cascadia Western Star cab.
Those are negative
Yeah,
points
no,
against you, not positive.
Like if he had a came and be like, yeah, I worked on the C500.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's
okay,
one
or if it
thing.
was like somebody from back in the day was like, yeah, I used to work at Pacific or Hayes.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, willing to talk with ya. You know, if someone's like, yeah, I used to be an engineer for Western Star when they were in Kamloops. Oh, awesome. Yeah, great. I used to work for Daimler, and I was one of the guys that helped design the new Freightliner cat or Western Star Cascadia cab. Like, no, no,
I
that is
helped
the
I
biggest rolling abortion on wheels.
I helped destroy Western
I
Star.
helped destroy Western Star. I helped take one of the greatest Canadian made trucks and turn it into a Cascadia. Will you hire me?
Yeah,
No, go
No.
away.
that's pretty
There
rough.
was
That's tough.
there were quite a few really interesting. We had a vast variety of fans, and we had some really interesting characters, which we probably would have to really dance around on a podcast publicly. But to say we had some very entertaining moments, it was good.
You're not sharing that video there, and I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We
Not-
can't
yeah.
share some of those videos.
No, I
yeah.
definitely got footage that we can't share, and we might come across no. Yeah. So anyway, there's some entertaining things that happen. A couple of them might go to the YouTube decision makers. I know I did share the one that I'm not allowed to share
They're
now.
not going on. But
I shared it
no,
to the decision makers today.
Well,
We
I
have a
mean, the
private text
decision
group.
makers group chat that's a different beast. The
yeah.
key decision makers group chat can get those videos, but we can't post them publicly. Some of the things that some people were doing was like
Maybe we should get a Patreon and see if people want to pay for these videos. That's an idea.
that's kind of what the YouTube key decision
Well,
makers is.
yeah, we
Yeah.
kind of do. So we should probably do a plug for that now. So we have a membership tier on our YouTube. My speaker cut out when you were saying that, in case you said this, Chase. But we have a membership tier on our YouTube where you can get into a private text group with at the top tier with Chase, and we share like things like I'm talking about now, and you get a 20% merch discount code. And there's a bunch of other things. You get first access to our videos. You get to critique my work and tell me where I screwed it up. And like we put the vote of the name for Topsy the truck to them, and then they help vote on it. And but anyway, so those guys are going to get to see the content that we're not publicly
And
releasing. There's also a non-disclosure form that we will be making. So it's what
nice. You
happens
have
in the
to
group
listen.
stays in the group.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
has to be a non-disclosure agreement for people in the group because we do talk about things.
Don't pull your
Yeah,
punches on Theron. If you guys got to say something mean, just let him have it. He loves it.
this is true. I get punched a lot, and I can take it a lot of the
Just
time.
kidding.
I'm until I cry. But
Back to what we were talking about there about like everyone knowing a lot more people knowing about Edison. I'm finding that more like I'm over here in Manitoba. It's not really as big of a thing here. I'm finding more and more people are just like, "Hey Jordan, I keep seeing things online. What's this Edison thing? Like I've followed it now for months. I'm seeing the truck and they'll like know that I have something to do with it. And it's just like I like they built a semi out there in BC. Like more and more people know about it. I find that really cool now. Because like 2 years ago when I was starting it, I'd have to tell people about it, and they're like brush me off. Now people are just inquiring about it. Like, hey, so like you're part of this Edison thing? Like that's pretty sweet. So it's definitely becoming a
that
lot more well known across the
it
cross
really
Canada for
is.
sure.
And we could kind of segue from that into an idea that Chase has been talking about with Edison Crew about kind of doing meet and greets across Canada. So there is an idea that has been presented, which we will most likely follow up on. But we plan on taking Topsy across Canada because it hasn't been done in a diesel electric truck before, and we have the perfect truck to do that with. And it would be a great video. It would also be a great thing to do, and we would be able to do meet and greets across Canada because we know our fan base is growing all across Canada. So
Oh,
we
well, I
want
definitely want to do a Canada road trip. It just depends
Mm.
if we have the time to get it done before winter. I don't want to do a cross Canada winter road trip.
Whoa, those batteries are freezing. No,
I
sorry.
mean,
Can't
just
say anything.
bobtail in the snow is not the best
bobtailing in the
circumstance.
snow sucks. I do not want to do a 20,000 kilometer round trip bobtail in the snow.
Nah,
Yeah,
nobody wants to do that. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Back to the show. Other highlights. Want to hammer those
Oh,
out.
some other highlights. Really, it was just the total amount of support we had and like how many people. Oh, got to meet the leader of the Green Party. She was real
That's
nice.
nice. Big
Yeah,
fan.
I
Big
did.
fan.
yeah. No, she was. She's actually one of those surprising politicians that's super down to earth. Like, totally gets a lot of things and has a very practical approach to things. I'm really impressed, actually.
Sonya's her name.
Sonia.
I can't say her last name. It's difficult. But I'm actually working on the video right now. I don't have that clip queued up here, but we do have we do have an interview of him doing an after interview of her thoughts on the truck and talking about how they met each other kind of thing. So that's entertaining. Sonia was good. I do have something else that happened at the show, which I do have a video queued up for it.
Okay, play it. Let's see what happened.
Okay, so we can
better not be the guy by the light tower.
we can. Oh, and we got to go back and talk about the chipmunks on the way down.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the chipmunks. Oh god, those chipmunks caused havoc at the show.
Let's just do that
I've seen them running around a couple times at the show. We moved a family of chipmunks relocated them from Merritt to inside the Vancouver Convention Center.
Accidentally.
Accidentally.
I feel like this is a Carl thing.
This is 100% a Carl thing. I guess there was a family of chipmunks living in the log bunks, or the reach of the truck. No. And on the drive down there, like we were in heavy Vancouver traffic, and like these 3-4 chipmunks pop out of Carl. And then for the rest of the show, like people from Edison kept seeing the chipmunks running around. Like at one part, there was like a chipmunk inside a BMW, and it's like, okay, chipmunks have infested the Vancouver Auto Show thanks to Edison Motors.
That's terrible.
These are somewhat famous chipmunks because they have appeared in other videos. Like Chase did a year-end wrap-up, and he's sitting there talking, and you can see the chipmunk running around, bouncing around underneath Carl. Chase's cat goes and tries to suss him out, and then I'm in a pickup with Eric, driving behind Carl, and I have it here actually. So we got let's see this. Maybe I can not screw it up this time.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a stowaway chipmunk driving on Carl.
Oh, there's two.
There are? Hey, let me know.
Poor chipmunks.
So they're there.
Where'd he go?
There they go in the show.
Bad. Oops. People are probably like, where the hell are all those chipmunks? There's now a chipmunk infestation at the Vancouver Convention Center, and our bad.
We were joking.
Edison thing.
We were joking. We said at the Fully Charged show, come for the EVs, but stay for the wildlife.
Oh, there's now going to be.
That's how good you guys are with wildlife. That's how good Carl is with wildlife. Like
Carl is so good for the environment that it brings the environment with it.
Yeah,
exactly.
There was nothing we could do. We thought they might jump off when the truck was stationary. They didn't. They were. Maybe we brought them back. I'm hoping that we brought them back because they were pretty.
Maybe we brought them back. We might have brought them back. Maybe they just lived in the truck and they're like, "Well, this is our home. I'm sure we'll get back there." And those chipmunks came back to Merritt and had just like the craziest story of their weekend.
Yeah, we went.
Can you imagine that chipmunk trying to describe their weekend?
Imagine the chipmunk just running around, all of a sudden is bouncing into rats and raccoons. Like, what the heck is going on here?
Comes back to Merritt and be like, you guys have no idea what's out there.
You will never believe this. So we did that. And then we had a cool fan that came through, and Chase had been like looking for hood ornaments for Topsy there. And this fan 3D printed. Cool. Yeah, do you want to say it, and I'll cue it up whenever you want? But this fan,
cue it up now. But yeah, he 100% made the hood ornament for the Edison truck, and it's perfect. This hood ornament is awesome. We need to actually get
like the idea of taking practical vehicles and making them electric rather than just luxury cars. So I heard that they named the truck Topsy after an elephant, which had an unfortunate end, supposedly with Thomas Edison. We don't know. And I had some time in a 3D printer, and somebody on the YouTube comments said, hey, what if we had a hood ornament that was an elephant with lightning tusks? And I was bored, so I made this, which is basically that.
That is so good.
Yeah, so I don't know if they can see that well, but...
Yeah.
So I figured I'd bring it on down, and just drop it off, because I like watching you all, I like what you're doing.
What drew you to Edison Motors? What do you like about it?
So my background's in manufacturing initially, and... not necessarily the engineering design, more like on the shop floor kind of thing. And I'm like so tired of everything with EVs just being like really like corporate and unapproachable and not practical. And then I see people actually own the company, who are working on the shop floor, building the thing, understand the practical aspects of stuff, like put it in something that's not just getting people around a downtown city center, which is great, that's fine. But there's a whole other world outside of the Silicon Valley areas that needs sustainable vehicles. So love seeing this. Grew up in the country, like to see it come from a different side of the country.
Nailed it, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
This is a gift from Dan Cook, given to you by Dan Barnes. On the bottom, there's a little
That's my excited keep kicking ass Topsy Dan Cook.
Man, the electric tusks.
Oh,
He nailed that.
man.
He's like, I saw the YouTube comment. Someone said an elephant with electric tusks. Like, if we're gonna go with something,
That's the thing.
That's the thing.
Let's get this bad boy up there.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Dan Cook, thanks for the elephant. That's awesome.
Oh,
It-
that noise you made, Shane. I love it.
So we can't glance over this.
Wow.
We are on the hunt for Daniel Cook. We want to talk to you. We would like the print file for that, but more importantly, we'd like to reward you for that. So we have merchandise we'd like to send you. If anyone knows that guy, contact us. My email address is dtf@edisonmotors.ca, and we want to talk to Dan Cook. Yeah, but that is awesome. Like. The
awesome.
focus, like when you hold it up to the camera, my focus doesn't pick it up. But it had electric lightning bolts for tusks.
It was well thought out. Like 100%. That's got to be the Edison hood ornament. Like Mac has the bulldog.
That's pretty
Edison's
slick.
got to have the elephant.
Yeah. Okay, so we did that. Where else do you want to go with this?
I don't know about you guys.
Oh, we got banned.
What?
Oh
what?
yeah, I forgot. We got banned from. Everybody at Edison Motors got banned from test driving the Lightning.
Ford products across Canada.
Ford products across Canada. We got banned from all nobody at Edison Motors is allowed to test drive a Ford anymore.
How?
I don't know. Apparently, we did some things on the test drive. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're going to put that much horsepower into a vehicle, you got to expect that people are going to use that much horsepower.
It was impressive. Like, I was
we full set.
Am I banned too though? Like, if I go to
probably 100%.
Oh, great, nice.
Yeah, sorry.
It was quite funny. Yeah, we got a couple texts and emails being like, "Yes, Edison Motors is no longer allowed to test drive any Fords in Canada."
Daniel actually went after to try, and they're like, no.
They're like, they literally saw the Edison Motors hat and been like, yeah. Oh, are you guys with Edison Motors? And they're like, yeah. No, you're not allowed.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I laid rubber on the inside of the convention hall floor.
It's like 5 kilometers an hour speed limit.
But I mean, I did it on our own truck anyways, too, though. Like, equal is equal. I laid rubber in Topsy, and I laid rubber in a Lightning. I don't see what the problem is. I'm not getting banned from test driving Edison Motors just because I laid rubber in the Edison Motors truck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to see it go. Let's let it go.
I mean, we're trying to find out the horsepower. We want to see the horsepower. Like,
maybe he was scared you would run it out of battery. He doesn't have an onboard generator.
It's great marketing. Everybody looked.
Yeah, we got some attention. The guy's like, no, you're not allowed to do that. Finish the test drive, get an alert. Yeah, Edison, you're no longer allowed to test drive anymore. Due to your actions during the last test drive, we are not allowing you to test drive any vehicles at Ford in Canada.
It was pretty surreal at times. We had an overwhelming different percentage of people around us than the other trucks. Like at times 5-10 times the amount of people were at the Edison truck than the other OEMs.
I mean, that was kind of like Peterbilt was there, Volvo, Western Star Freightliner, Mac. And like you looked over at our booth, like there was a couple times I walked in there and there's like 40-50 people around the Edison truck, and you look over at Volvo and it's just 2 guys sitting on their phone being like just sitting at a booth playing on their phone.
Yeah.
Nobody there.
But with all these other trucks there, like did other, like, is there other working EV trucks at that show, or is this a Nikola thing where like Volvo rolled a truck in there and they're gonna roll
I
it back
think
in?
Volvo's truck is not even legally allowed to be in BC. They had to bring one up from California. Like the truck is not legally allowed to drive on the road in BC.
Okay, okay.
And it only had one driving axle.
Yeah, well, only one axle, and then it had a tag axle, which is not allowed. You need to have both axles drivable in BC. And yeah, then you looked at like Peterbilt's is apparently out working, actually hauling. So Peterbilt has a working truck, and it looks like Mack has their garbage truck was out working. So Mack and Peterbilt both had it. Freightliners, I don't think Freightliner's truck was in very much of a drivable condition. Like they went heavy on the weight reduction. But
wait till you see it on the video.
do you have that video queued up by any chance?
No, I don't.
Okay. That is one of my favorite clips. A guy driving the Western or the Freightliner.
Please do tell.
You know what? You're gonna have to watch it on the video.
Okay,
There's
I'll
no
watch
way
it.
I can describe the drivability condition of this freaking Western Freightliner other than
it's like Topsy when it was just frame rails and wheels, and then they have like the steering column and maybe like some EV rad components and batteries, and then like a seat on plywood, and it's just completely open sitting on the frame.
Hey, they're trying. At least they're trying, boys.
The guy sitting on a white like Walmart lawn chair on a piece of plywood driving this thing. I mean, to be fair, it was a cool way to show off all the EV components. I really liked it. It's just we didn't think it actually like, of all the vehicles at that show that I was expecting to drive under its own power or not, I was not expecting the Freightliner to be the working driving vehicle when some of the other vehicles had to get pushed. And then you looked at the Freightliner and you're like, that's the one that's working and driving?
Hold on. Wait, I'm using my... Oh, shoot.
If you can't get it up, that's fine. There, we'll send people...
No, I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just give me a second. I got to... where did it go?
Oh, you guys are in for a treat on this one. But, yeah, that's... Honestly, the whole thing is like the Peterbilt one, I am very impressed with the Peterbilt. They've done a lot of things really, really well. Like, I like where they put their charging port. It was well protected. Their batteries had a substantial amount of armor around them. I like that. That's something that we've done. I like their coolant management cabling. Really just a lot of parts overall on the truck were extremely well done on the Peterbilt. I was impressed. Although I'm really glad we did not go with the Meritor axles. I know like we've talked about that and how Meritor kind of screwed us over. Now at the end, I'm glad we didn't because those axles are not up to logging spec. They are only capable of handling 80,000 pounds max. Like they will not rate those for over 80,000. Now I'm wondering if that's the reason they actually didn't sell them to us because the axles are just too small.
That you could be onto something there. Like if they're worried about you wrecking them in the test drive, that makes them look pretty bad.
Yeah, and I mean 100% when you look at it, like it was designed for light city delivery. Like they're nice axles for what they do.
No actual way.
That is wild.
I didn't hear it air up. So.
I think it's airing up right now.
Okay. Can I squeeze that way? Yeah, you bet. Sweet.
I love that the dash just basically got everybody else.
I love his chair. That is crazy.
Yeah, turret pump.
You gotta send me that that footage. I don't have this way.
I think Dan gave me that.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to steal that off Dan because that's awesome.
It is. Yeah.
Like, can you believe that that's a driving truck?
Yeah, and you were worried about showing up to the show not fully ready, Chase. Come on.
I'm like, we're not gonna be fully ready. It doesn't have fenders. Ah, fuck.
How long
didn't even put the cab on.
Yeah.
How long did it take him to make that? Right.
I love that the dash isn't even orientated at the driver. It's just like
it's like out the front. That's right. I bet you one guy is allowed to move that truck because he's the only one who knows how to get it going.
Another great thing that I have mostly on film, I'm pretty sure it worked out. I haven't gone through the footage yet, but Chase called out a company. Well, subtly called out a company for marketing things as made in Canada. That Chase pulled up the link is from Alibaba,
I
straight
don't
out of
know if
China.
that was subtle. He's like,
Yeah,
oh my
well,
god, he's literally, I'm like,
this
oh, these are
subtle?
made in Canada. It had a thing on it, like designed and manufactured in designed and manufactured in
Vernon.
the Okanagan Valley. You can have pride knowing that these are supporting Canadian manufacturing jobs. And then I'm like, no way. I've seen these while fucking around on the Alibaba. Went on Alibaba, found the exact vehicles, and then approached the guy. I'm like, so you build and manufacture all of these in the Okanagan? He's like, yeah, no, we build them all in Merritt Vernon. I'm like, okay, well, how come they're on Alibaba here? And showed him my cell phone. He's like,
Uh, uh,
but well, like we don't do all the manufacturing. We do have partners overseas that like China. He's like, yeah, China. Um,
like,
that
you
do
mean
the manufacturing and we do the upgrading. I'm like, oh, so like they provide you like a bare frame and then you upgrade it, like it's just like a bare chassis.
Yeah. No.
No,
no?
we kind of we like he never gave us an answer on what they
No.
actually do to
So
build
like,
it.
you mean
Order them over, they paint
assembled?
them.
They're assembled in Canada, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of
I
like
even said that, and he's like, "Well, like they're assembled at our manufacturers, but like what do? They put the tires on them. They take the things out of the shipping crate and like put the thing on. Like that's not
Guaranteed. That's all.
And then okay, the price on that Chase found them for, they're about $3,500. Take a guess what you think that they were selling them for. Just
$3,500 on Alibaba. Guess how much they sell for as Canadian made?
11.
11,000.
Yeah.
$40,000.
You're kidding. That is
I'm not
bogus.
shitting you.
That
Right?
is a scam. That is a scam.
That's more than a car.
That's a scam.
It's such a scam. And what nerve of them? Like, you know what? If you're gonna do it, fine. But don't have fucking signs up saying made in Canada.
You can rest assured that you're supporting Canadian manufacturing jobs. Like that pisses me off. Like our light towers are made in Canada. Michael does the welding on them. We paint them, or
it takes away from other people who.
But we actually make these, weld them. Like Topsy, our truck is fabricated. Every single part of that truck is built, welded, fabricated. It's actually built. Here, I mean, I'm sure some of the parts that we use, like turn signals, are made in China. But the point is, it's actually designed and fabricated. We didn't just go on Alibaba and order Topsy and have Topsy and then assembled it. Like, it pisses me off.
But
you
guys aren't hiding
end.
the Chinese stuff either. Like we got our axles. Like you went through Chinese manufacturer. You went there. We took a YouTube video. We show people. We don't lie about that. We ship everything over. You guys did it yourself. We're not lying about that like they are.
You can use Chinese parts. That's fine.
Everyone else has to.
Like,
don't
that's
claim
fine.
it's
You have them made in China. Bring them over. That's cool. But then don't piss on my head and tell me that it's raining. Like, don't tell me that these are made and manufactured and have a big speech on a giant sign about how you can rest assured that you're supporting Canadian jobs and charging when you're bringing them in for 4 and you're charging 40,000. Don't tell me and give me all this bullshit of, oh, you're paying an extra 35,000 because you're supporting Canadian jobs. Fuck it. If you're gonna buy one of those things, just buy them direct from Alibaba and then just give the homeless guy the extra 35,000 and you're supporting a local Canadian job. Just fucking hand it directly to some fucking bum.
Like, so with Alibaba, you gotta buy in bulk. So buy 10 then, buy your 10, and they're still 35,000, but you get 10 of them.
You could literally buy one of those vehicles for you and every single one of your buddies for the same price as buying it. Like a whole shipping container of them, and then just like go to town on them. Fuck it.
Okay, you guys didn't really like say too much about like. Are you gonna say who and what this thing is, or?
Oh, I don't remember the company's name.
Oh,
well,
like,
I'm making a video. I'm making I'm making a video of it. It'll be on Edison Motors YouTube.
Okay, I'll check it. I'll check it out.
It's a golf cart, like a side by side type, like little thing.
I do have some questions for you guys. If there's other highlights of the show, want to hammer those down. But the other big questions, and a lot of people have been asking, talking about next steps, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the next steps. So the next big steps are we got to fully flange out the engineering. A lot of these parts were made on the fly, like things like cross members, battery mounts. We built them in the shop and we adjusted them as we went. Those parts need to be fully engineered out to, like, we need to get them AutoCAD'd up so we can send out all the cross members and everything out to fabricators and they can just build the pieces. Those parts that we know are going to be on every single truck just need to be prefabricated, arrived, ready to bolt on, done.
Mhm.
We need to engineer a couple things I'd like to change in the headache rack. I'd love to change the inverter mounting, minor tweaks to the cab. But basically, we got to do all that design and engineering to make assembly easier and quicker. So that's part of the next step. The next step is also we're sending Topsy to Ontario here at the end of this week. It's going to go through its testing, upgrading, and we're going to work through Flowdraulic with the programming, really get it fine tuned so that it works the way I want it to. Then next steps too, apart from the build plans of testing and doing the engineering, we want to get a few companies committed to sign up to buy a few of these trucks, and we want to do another round of investment, raise enough money so we can build those next 5 trucks to get them to our development partners. Basically, there's extra costs associated on the next 5 trucks that aren't going to be on future costs. It's not fair to just price all of those in. They should go to, the way it works is you would get investors to come in, they fund those development and those investment costs, and then you sell them to the customer at roughly what they're going to cost to the customer. Little bit of a premium on the first truck, but you don't, basically we're not trying to recoup all our R&D in the first 5 trucks. So that's the plan, and wouldn't mind doing another round of crowdfunding, but we also are trying to find a couple investors that are experienced, what you call smart money. People that have experience in taking a business from one level to the next level. People that are experts in manufacturing, or like, hey, I've ran my own business, I've scaled up to do manufacturing, and now I have some extra money to invest to help other people. But we're really looking for that kind of smart people investment to come on board as those key players in Edison. Like, hey, I've got a great finance background. I can manage these money markets for you, and I have a vested interest in helping you succeed because I've invested with you. Or, hey, I used to own a truck dealership network. I know what it's like to sell service on that end of it things. Or, hey, I've ran a manufacturing business. I know what it's like to start on the ground floor of here manufacturing and go up to here. I'm going to invest with you, and I'm going to help take you to that level. So before we do the next crowdfunding, we're really looking for these next key individuals, not just anybody with money, because we've told quite a few people no. Like, no. Like some people have come over and, hey, we're willing to invest $40 million, $80 million, and we want 30-50% of your company. And like, no, you don't bring anything to the table. You just have a lot of money, and we don't want to just sell out to some venture capitalist. We want those people that are going to help bring us to the next level because they like what we do, they support our vision, and they want to help us grow. So that's really the next big step.
No, it's good to know. One thing I have to ask, this is more for me, I'm sure some other people are interested in this too. How is our truck getting to Ontario? With our last shipping debacle,
I'm just going to call CH Express and hopefully they can do it.
No, no, you're not. We're not doing that again. So if anyone hasn't seen that video, has got to check that out. But CH Express, don't go there. Who's driving that truck? Are you like, are we packing a low bed and just taking it?
I mean, I've been so busy, I didn't renew the CVIP and it expired on Old Blue like 2-3 months ago. And I don't have the time to go back through that process in the time it takes. So finding a few buddies who can help do it.
Okay. In worst case scenario, I'll bring a truck there and get it. Because I'm not.
You got like a step deck?
I got just rent one from the company I work with now. I would just take it. I'm too worried about this. I don't want a shipping debacle again. I want it in the hands of someone we know.
Well, if you got a truck, why don't you come out here and let me haul it? We'll run it across Canada, like team drive it together. Fuck it.
That would be pretty fun.
Let's do it.
That also make a good video.
I need some money, but hey, okay, whoa, we can do this. We can do this. Actually, shit.
Let's do it.
The company that I get contract lots through, they have a shipment to go to BC. I wonder if that's still happening.
Is it on like a step deck?
we could just whatever. I can't remember. It was something we ordered in. It has to have like a part we ordered, not a part we ordered, sorry, something for a job. If it has to go back, we could just pick up the truck and bring it back here. Man, this. Okay, let me find out. I'm gonna send some text messages.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
I got to touch on quickly before we move off of the CH Express. During our cross Canada drive, which will eventually happen here, and our meet and greets, we have presented the idea of having a meet and greet in front of CH Express. I think that is amazing.
That's
we should
pretty
do that.
good.
Yes, 100%, 100%. Yeah, we got to go pay them a visit in person.
I'm so mad about that situation.
I was
livid
about it.
Like
it's still hilarious that they tried to like sue us.
Oh, talk about that. Talk about your counter level letter, because not many people actually know that. Can you bring it up?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll get ready to cue it. So I'll keep talking. So they served us papers, I guess, or like a request that their lawyer emailed us, I believe, more than once. The guy emailed us a bunch of times, like re-forwarded the lawyer letter, and they're like, remove all your content about us. Like they're trying to get us on like defamation type things.
Here, let's go to
although
screen
they didn't say
share.
that.
Can I do screen share?
I see something underneath there. What's down here? Oh, I can't get down that far. Maybe here, I'll delete a couple of these. See, it'll pop up. Remove from studio. Oh, here. Oh, that's Jordan. Remove from studio. There's Chase.
What is that noise?
Oh, Chase sounds like a chipmunk.
Yeah.
Oh. Talk again, Chase. Your audio's messed up. Talk again.
Yeah.
He sounds like a chipmunk. Okay, I'm gonna kick him out and then bring him back. But I see your screen share. It's back. Chase, you sound like a chipmunk. Hold on. Chase is out. Chase is in. Hello? Oh no, we got chipmunk Chase now.
Yeah.
Dang
like
it.
Squeaky chipmunk. Not getting better, man.
Oh no.
Can't hear you.
Hey, baby. Damn, did we just screw this podcast?
No,
okay,
no,
I'll put
no.
the letter up. Okay, see.
Nothing's good.
Okay, we're screen sharing. Hey, Archer. Mr. Barber, we are mandated by our client CH Express to send you this letter on demand. In several videos you put up on YouTube, you attack our client's reputation based on the. But this is the best part. You attacked our client's reputation based on the fact. That's the best word. Based on the fact. So they admit it to being fact. Damn, Chase, we can't hear anything you're saying. Shoot.
Yeah. But I love that they say based on the fact. Like they admitted to guilt there.
Oh.
He's still talking.
I wonder if I can kick you right out. Kick from studio. I'm kicking you from. Oh, edit Mike say. I'm kicking you from studio. Come back. You're gone. Try that. Hey Archer. So I don't know how much of that you guys got to read, but so they sent it. They sent us a letter of demand. Chase countered it with our own letter of demand, and he basically said he sent him a bill. Oh, here's Chase coming in. Is Chase back? There we are.
Okay.
Non-chipmunk Chase.
Non-chipmunk
Chase.
Hey,
Archer, cool.
If you're going to write somebody a letter about defamation, maybe don't say, because like the truth is the ultimate defense to defamation. Like if it's true, it's not defamation. So maybe in your defamation thing, be like, based on the facts, we don't like what you said. You said things based on facts. And we don't like that. Like, that's not a good defamation letter. That's not intimidating. Like, that's like lawyering 101. Don't admit that the person you're trying to threaten was absolutely correct and accurate.
Yeah. So they told us to take the content down. We didn't. And we had like meetings before because we kind of knew it was coming. We're like, okay, we're not taking the content down. I don't care how threatening it went. Chase sent him a counter letter with a bill and basically saying like, bring it. We're looking forward to it. We owe it to our investors to let them know why this product is late.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that I wanted to expose, like, one of the things we stand up for is great things in the trucking industry and like promoting the good things and saying the bad things. Like, we're trying to make the entire trucking industry a little bit better. So double brokering is illegal in the US, but it's not illegal in Canada. And I wanted to set a big precedence, a very big public precedence, that if you double broker and a load gets lost or there's delays, you should be liable for the damages. If you give some freight away to a company, you should be liable for what happens after you give that freight away. Like, just giving it to an unknown company that did not have prior approval of the shipper originally should be met with immediately, no, there needs to be transparency. Hey, just so, like, if you were the trust, say CH Express, they should have been, hey, we don't have a truck to haul this load personally. Would it be okay if we used Auto Logistics? We found that their truck could cover it for us. Is that okay? And then leave us to say yes or no. But if you aren't transparent and you don't say these things, and it just happens and something happens like this where it was critically damaging to our business, they should be on the hook for the financial diet. They should have the liability of giving that load away. And I wanted to make a very, very public precedence. And I told them that in the email. I'm like, oh, awesome. They're like, hey, if you don't take these videos down, we're going to go to court. And I'll be like, yes, that's awesome. I want to do that so badly.
I can't eat.
And then they decided to not take it to court for some reason. Which is annoying because I really want
that is ridiculous. I think it should have went to court because it would have been very funny.
I mean, we can still do it.
Bring up that letter.
It'd be the Mariah Carey effect. It's the Mariah Carey effect.
Barbara Streisand, you mean?
That's it. That's it. Barbara Streisand. Sorry. Yeah. And that was, she wanted to block her house being able to be on Google Maps or something, and it just blew right up.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want Google Street View to be able to see my house. And like, because she said that, everybody and like all the papers put like a picture of Barbara Streisand's house on the like the front cover of all these pictures, and everybody looked at it. Yeah. I think that's hilarious. But that's essentially what. See, the guy from CH Express, I think, is just a boomer that does not understand social media, and I think he's done it before. Like, at least like 30 people reached out to me saying that they had similar incidences with CH Express, doing same things to their loads. And it's like, okay, he's done it before to other people, allegedly. So he's probably just upset that he's being called out on it now. People are all coming out in the comments saying, hey, yeah, I've had similar things. So he didn't like it. He just didn't like. And the thing is, he didn't even bother refunding the money. He didn't even say, hey, there was a mistake made. He just decided to go get a paid lawyer, the world's crappiest lawyer, write us a letter. That's something we ought to just take him. Anyways, it's not important at all, but I would love to set a precedence because he cost us probably easily upwards of $10,000 to $12,000, plus the extra cost of the shipment. It easily costed us an extra $15,000, and the amount of stress he incurred, the overtime, like because it was a week late, we had to pay tons of overtime to catch up. We had to pay our guys to work every single weekend before the show, which gets into time and a half, double time. The amount of overtime hours we had to pay out to the staff is easily, probably actually when you add it up, over $20,000 to make up for this lost 5-6 days based on this express. And it's like easily over 20,000. Now that I think about it, plus Flowdraulic's amount that they suffered, we're into the 30,000-40,000. Like, we absolutely would have paid the direct shipment amount, like, that he charged us for. Like, fuck, I'm like.
Now you're mad again. We got Chase.
I'm mad again. Yeah,
you riled Chase up. Now it's nice when you get mad at these podcasts, like people will be able to see your face now. Get all scrunched up.
What is Theron doing?
Theron, I don't know what he's doing.
He's just smacking some ass. Guarantee he's smacking.
Get out of here! Jesus. If I turned this camera around, we would be demonetized instantly. Get out of here, please. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you dog. I think we all know what's going on in the background of Theron's phone.
Thank you. Yeah, oh boy.
Their background there's a reason why these green screens are on for Theron, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Protective.
And to Chase's credit, he even gave him an ultimatum. We will take the videos down if you give us your own video just explaining the situation in your own point of view on how where the miscommunication was. To say how we went wrong, how Edison Motors did wrong. You gave him that opportunity.
I did. I literally replied. I'm like, yeah, we're not taking it down. I'm like, best I can do. Because I'm like, people need to know what happens, what's going on. Best I can do is that if there was a mistake made and this was not just fraud on your part, I said that. I'm like, if it wasn't just straight up fraud, come do a video with me. And I'll let you explain in your own words, and I'll even send you the video before we post it so that you can review it to know that we're being honest and we're not going to twist your words. Like, you'll have my full guarantee that I will let you review the video and give approval before I post it. And in your own words, why don't you tell everybody what happened? Like, did we make a mistake? What mistake did we make? Why don't we use it as a learning experience so that other people don't run into these issues? He didn't want to do it. He was not he was not even able to come on a video and explain what we might have done wrong. Like, I'm like, full benefit of the doubt. Like, all best I can do is, like, I'll let you say what happened in your own words. What mistakes did we make? How could we avoid it in the future? He's like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I'm not going to come out and say what mistakes were made. And oh, and I said, and as part of that, you also have to refund us the difference in the money. Refund us the thousands of dollars we paid. But because he said, he's like, I wish this whole load never happened. Like, I wish this whole thing never happened. I wish I never took that load. I'm like, okay, well then refund us the thousands of dollars in the difference between what you paid CH Express and what we paid. Just refund us the difference, and then maybe give an apology, and then you can explain it in your own words what happened, and we'll move on. He's like, no, I can't do that. He's like, I regret that it happened, but I'm definitely not going to refund you the money. Now that I've caught that now that you've caught that I scammed you, I'm not going to refund the money that I scammed you.
Yeah,
right.
Done.
So
it's already happened.
Meet and greet in front of CH Express when we're over there. We have to give credit to our fans too, although it kind of worked against it. They went from having like a 4.2 star to a 2.7 at one point.
It went really low.
People started just Google review bombing them, but then Google just removed them all and removed all the bad reviews. Yeah, but all the reviews in like the last 2 years and all the negative reviews got taken down. So their review actually went up from people doing that. But at one point I looked, they had like 170 reviews. I think now they're at like 60 maybe, and nothing in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
but it was just kind of, there was a review war that went on there.
That was hilarious. I was following that pretty good.
Oh my god! Anyways, it doesn't matter. Well, this is not going to be the end of the story, I don't think. But
so that's CH Express anyway.
It'd be some good content while the truck is out getting tested.
Mm-hmm. It'll be great. And we have a loyal fan base, so thank you guys.
Hello? Sorry, what?
Oh, my audio was crapping out there for a bit.
Yeah, mine paused there too.
Anyways, just to touch base, I guess, because this was about fully charged. We made it. It was a miracle that we made it, and the reviews were way better than we even expected. We had a ton of fans. It was great meeting the fans. One of the things that I do feel bad about the show is I didn't have enough time to meet with everybody for as long or as often as I could. There were some people I didn't have time to meet with. Other people we did. Other people, but I didn't have the time I wanted, or I'd get pulled away. It was a lot of meetings, and I'm sorry for anybody that came out, and I couldn't spend that amount of much time. But everyone that I did meet was fantastic. I enjoyed talking with them. It was a great experience. And it was just, the other takeaway, it was really cool that people that had never heard of Edison Motors that found out what we were doing, and became massive supporters of it. It was a really, really incredible experience. And I think the whole team can leave feeling really proud of everything that happened.
That's awesome. Good to hear.
I think that's a pretty good way to end the podcast. The one thing we had to stay at an Airbnb, which was sweet, but it was also hilarious. Like
it was hilariously bad.
So bad it was good.
Have you ever heard the story of like the Winchester house, Jordan?
No, I have not.
Okay, so the widow of Winchester, the person that made the Winchester rifle, said that she was haunted by all of the ghosts that her husband's invention, the repeating rifle, killed. So all the ghosts the rifle killed, she's like, okay, so she took all the fortune from Winchester, all the money that was made, and she hired a team of builders to keep building a house with no building permits, no plans, just keep adding rooms and just keep building more rooms for more ghosts and just keep adding more spaces and more things. And like none of it had a rhyme or reason. They were just basically all paid like a crazy high wage, like inflationary adjusted. Like the builders on site were paid like $1,500 a day each to just keep building rooms, and they just kept like building more and more rooms. And that's what
The
this
house
build
was
felt
similar.
like.
I'm sorry.
There
I'm
was
just
no.
googling it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's what
The
this
house was
was.
bizarre. The layout was like crazy. In the 70s, no, it was it was made in 1982. I think we looked it up because we were just, what the hell? And it was like at one point, like there's some crazy parties that happened there.
There was
There
a
was like
weird sex dungeon place in it.
there was
Yeah,
like
yeah. It's a tour.
there
You can tour it now, right?
oh the no, we're talking about the house we were in, the Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the
Oh,
Winchester
oh,
house, yeah.
okay. I thought we were talking about the Winchester house. The
No,
place
no,
you were in had a dungeon.
like creepy though, not in like a fun. This was meant to be a sex dungeon way, but like, oh no, some horrible things have happened to really innocent people kind of way.
Aaron was like, "Oh, I know this basement."
Shock on my room.
I want the creepy stained mat on the floor.
Yeah.
There's like at least 3 living rooms in this house. It was built like when you didn't have like your shower and bath in the bathroom. Like there's a toilet room and then a shower room. Although a couple of the bathrooms did. Chase's room was sweet. It had like a huge sauna room and like the biggest walk-in closet you've ever been in. But like the upstairs, like there was obviously a flood at one point, and if you walked on the floor with your heels, you'd like rake through the floor.
Oh goodness. That's
Yeah,
not
it was.
safe.
They're one of the Edison people built houses and like inspected houses, and he's like, "How the fuck is this even habitable?"
You had to sign you had to sign a waiver to use the pool, and I'm like, oh, it'll be like a use at your own risk in case you drown thing. No,
because there was brain-eating amoebas in the pool, 100%.
Yeah, like frogs wouldn't live in there, and
Goodness.
it was pretty wild. But at the
You
same
guys
time,
didn't use
it's like
the pool, right?
We
it's
didn't
no,
Okay,
it was like an infinity pool though, and like in its heyday, it would have been ballin'. We found this crazy room like in behind like a closet type thing. It looked like a closet.
Harry
It had
Potter.
closet doors on it, and it was the Harry Potter room. Chase
That little like triangle looking room
Yeah.
thing.
yeah. Like what was with that?
Oh,
I
just
don't-
the whole weekend was just crazy.
Uh,
Like
Dan,
I'm really regretting not coming out.
Dan would go and on the last night when we went out, Dan would tell the people that it was Chase's birthday, and then everyone keep coming out with like shots or whatever for Chase and singing happy birthday. Like Chase had his happy birthday sang to him multiple times that night.
Yeah, that
wasn't his birthday at all.
I could see Chase sitting there not enjoying.
He was
that.
like, I
So
hate
at the
you
end of
guys.
the day, we're just like, okay, I guess technically it's Carl's birthday and Topsy's birthday. It was both their public debuts. It counts as birthday.
It was pretty funny.
Anyways, we should probably wrap it up. I should probably get heading here, but
I think that's a good first. Hopefully, I don't
episode.
delete this accidentally. So, everyone, this is the test run. This is the Edison Motors Blue Collar Interviews. We'll be merging here. We're going to probably start our own channel. We'll put this up on our main page. If you watch us, I'll have it a link below to the channel to go follow if you like this kind of content. And what else can we say? Visit our merch store, edisonmotors.ca/shop.
Have a good day.
And CH Express, the CH Express video that we were talking about, it is on our YouTube channel. If you haven't watched it, check it out. It's one of my favorites. Apart from how crappy of a situation it was to have to film it. Any other plugs we got?
no.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive. Yeah, I'll lock the door next time so I don't get.
All right. Catch you
Yeah.
guys later.